Hi guys, we love you. More on the mistress. As we know, there's some more tapes come out of the mistress. You know, NK. Um, her first phone call, second phone call, and I'm just listening to it. And of course, it's a lot of stuff that we've heard in her videotapes. And when she was brought into the police station to be questioned more and look at her phone, and there's stuff that she's calling the detective and saying what she's remembered. Oh, yeah, I remember this. Oh, yeah, I remember that. One thing she's stating about the Thrive, she asked the detective, oh, yeah, what was the name of that company? Uh, like his wife did. What was the name of the company? And he was like, what's it called? He said, oh, Thrive. She goes, oh, yeah. And she's acting like she don't even know the name, but she's looked it up and everything. We know way uh, before July. She knew he was on this because Chris had discussed it, and he told her all about it, and he's plateaued about his weight, and he was thinking of going on a healthy eating diet. What does she recommend? And all that. And she also states that she looked it up. So she kind of knows a lot about it, but she's talking to the detective like she hadn't looked into it. Like, uh? Well, she's finding it strange because what did he say? He said like something about how many patches do you have to wear? He said, well, it's one patch. And the detective asks, where does he put it? Oh, and then she goes on to tell him, well, he puts it here and normally here on his biceps, or it's on the left bicep, it's on this one. That's where he usually puts it. Well, boy, she knows a lot about this man, don't she? You know, she knows which leg, which arm. She knows where he's exactly putting it. Well, in another tape I was listening to, not a tape, but the phone call, the first one, I think, first phone call, she tells the detective that when she spoke to him on the Monday, this would have been the 13th, when the wife went missing, so Chris Watts said. And it was late at night. She said it was late at night. And by late at night, 10, 11 o'clock or something, um, he wants to her, FaceTime her, because he wants to take a look at her face. Like she said, he didn't have much to say. He was pretty quiet, and it's pretty strange, of him to be quiet like this. And it was like they didn't have nothing to say, but he just said he wanted just to look at her face. That's Chris Watts saying, I just want to look at your face one more time, you know. And then she states, it's very strange um, why Chris Watts was laying in bed with no sheets on the bed. Hmm. No sheets on the bed. And he said that he was busy doing some housework and stuff. And then he makes a comment. This is what she says. And she says she was only on the phone for a couple of minutes, um, FaceTiming him or something like that, because um, it was late. And so she was saying all this in a couple of minutes. She said quite a few stuff, and I think she talked for more than a couple of minutes because, you know, she was also in bed, I guess, as well. And I thought, yeah, okay, then let's FaceTime each other, because he wants to look at her face one more time. That's probably what Chris Watts was thinking. Well, anyway, he states to her something about when she said, why don't you have sheets on your bed? And Chris Watts said, like he was cleaning up and do some laundry. That's what he said. But then he said, um, Bella's or the kids beds. He says he has to wash them because they really smell really bad. They smell really bad, and he couldn't understand why they smelled so bad. This is what he said. He said, I can't understand why they smell. I had to wash them. I had to wash them. But then the next breath, he's saying to her, I don't know how they got on the subject, but people in his home that day, okay, like Nicole Atkinson and her son. She goes, yeah, her son, that Nicole that was in the house, she said her son, he's about 10 years old or something like that. This is what Nicole thought, that he said her son was 10 years old. But as we know, her son is about 16 years old. And he said they were running around the house. They were up and down. They were pacing. They were in and out the rooms. And then he says the sheets went missing off his bed. And he says that he thinks that Nicole's son stole the sheets. Stole the sheets. Now, if I heard that wrong, I know she said that. He stole the sheets. So Chris Watts was lying again. He said her son stole some things out of the house. Stole some things out of the house. How about that, guys? I don't know what else you heard on there, but I was like, what the hell? And they smell. And she said, that sounded odd to me. This woman knows everything. She's the wife. She's the wife. Uh, she goes, I found that very odd because his house is always spotless. He's a very good housekeeper. They keep their house very clean. Seems that she said she's only been to this house twice. How do they know if they keep it clean all the time? Houses do get messy. Kids do mess it up. It's not perfect every time. But mind you, it was clean and tidy. And then she makes a statement. Oh, they were talking about Shanann missing. Obviously, that came up as well. And she states to him, on this 2-minute conversation call, that FaceTime that she had, when she coming back, well, I think she'll come back. She must have been mad, that girl. When she coming back, that girl. She called Shanann that girl. Did you guys hear that when she said that? She called her. No, I swear that I thought she was talking about Shannon because she said that girl, and I'm sure she'll come back. Like, where is she? That kind of thing. This Nicole is like a piece of work, isn't she? She called Shannon the other woman. She's called her that before. When he went back to North Carolina, and Chris is telling her that he loves her and stuff, and he's going to try to make it work, but then he says it's not going to work. And then she tells him not to tell her, don't say you love me when you're going to go sleep with another woman. What? This Nicole is forgetting her place. She is the other woman. Has she forgotten? She's the other woman. A wife's a wife until you're divorced. Then it's the ex-wife. Until then, they have a title, and it's called the wife. And she needs to be reminded of that. And that's just crazy, isn't it? So anyway, that's what she said. So I couldn't believe it. And so there's just more information coming out, dribbling day by day by day. I can't understand why they are putting all these tapes out. Absolutely, some of them are absolutely useless, aren't they? Or personal HIPAA rights. What's the HIPAA rights here? Don't they have them in Colorado? Didn't Chris Watts file, when he filed that paperwork about HIPAA rights, his privacy, that he doesn't want anything being released, and not to let information out about his personal health and all that and the other, or something like that. I really don't know. But when it comes down to these people's privacy, and you got to remember, this never went to trial. This never ever went to trial. So why are these people's addresses, phone numbers, middle name, first name, middle name, last name, date of birth, where they live, what they drive, you know, you name it, they've asked them and they've put them out. I mean, can't they bleak it out? You know, bleep, 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 bleep. But no, they just let the tape roll. They just let it roll. I don't know about the state of Colorado. They just don't care what they release. That's all I'm saying. I mean, all those witnesses, those poor people, are going to have to change their, well, they can't change their address because they live there, don't they? But their phone numbers, they had to give out their date of birth, first, middle, last name. I mean, there you go. Somebody could easily look you up right there and then, can't they? And they know exactly where you live. So you don't even have to tell them where you live, just by that. And we know there is crazy people out in this world that just might stalk them or something. You know, there are those people out there. I mean, my God. So anyway, what do you guys think of the phone calls that are being released at this time? Comment and let's discuss these new details. Well, there's not much, but there's a few bits in there that we didn't hear before because Nicole keeps changing her stories. You know, she don't remember, but then she remembers, you know. So anyway, I think this Nicole was bringing this up to the detective because, as we know, if Chris Watts was overdosing on these Thrive patches, because I don't know if it says, when it says, you know, when you go to a doctor and he says, take these pills 2 times a day only, because you can overdose. Well, any medication that you take, even a vitamin pill that you get from Walgreens or somewhere, it says on there, take 1 a day, right? Why would you take 10 of them? Why would you take 2 or 3? 1 a day. 1 vitamin a day. And 1 supplement. Or whatever he was taking, a shake or whatever it was. Now he's wearing 2 or 3 patches. 2 or 3 patches. I mean, do you think this has any effect on a person's mind? Because it's speed. It gets your mind racing. It gets your thoughts going. Do you really think that this might have something to do with it? Is mood change? Is mood swings maybe? You know, is thought process is different. You know, maybe he's got more anger. Don't know. It's just a thought. I'm just saying. I mean, this company needs to be looked at. That's all I'm saying. All right. Thanks for watching the video.